Hello, travelers. This is Jade the Occultist. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and beloved giants of the astrological and mythological world, Jupiter. We'll explore its mythological roots, its role in astrology, the nature of its transits, the lessons we've just completed with Jupiter in Gemini, and finally, what we can expect as Jupiter moves into the nurturing, emotional waters of Cancer. For each zodiac sign, we will uncover what the Jupiter transit in Cancer will bring, so let's begin our journey through the stars. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to the whispers of the cosmos. In the ancient tapestry of myth, Jupiter stands tall, a divine giant whose presence echoes through time and space. He is the Roman embodiment of Zeus, the king of the gods, a celestial ruler whose reign extends far beyond the realms of mere mortals. His kingdom is the heavens themselves, where he wields the thunderbolt with such power, it could shake the very foundations of the universe. But, beloved souls, Jupiter is not merely a god of raw power. No, he is so much more. He is the guardian of cosmic order, the embodiment of wisdom and benevolence. While others may wield power out of fear, Jupiter rules with the gentle strength of a benevolent monarch. His touch is one of expansion, for he seeks not just to command, but to enlighten, to show us the broader, more expansive truths of existence. He is the protector of our souls, the one who bestows blessings and favors upon those who walk in alignment with the higher laws of the universe. Divine protection flows from him as the rain falls from the sky, abundant and unwavering. In his eyes, we find clarity, for he sees beyond the immediate, the trivial concerns of our daily lives, and into the grand scheme of things. Jupiter teaches us that there is a higher law, a greater truth that exists beyond the limits of our human understanding. Justice, destiny, and the principle of cosmic order are his gifts to us. When we call upon him, we call upon the wisdom of the wise king, a ruler who does not reign with tyranny, but with deep generosity and understanding. His reign is not one of oppression but of liberation, for he frees us from the chains of ignorance, opening our eyes to a universe of limitless potential. When we invoke the power of Jupiter, we awaken the ancient archetype of the king, not one who commands through fear, but one who guides through the light of knowledge and the warmth of compassion. In astrology, Jupiter is known as the Great Benefic, a celestial force that brings growth, abundance, optimism, faith, philosophy, and higher learning. It is the planet of expansion, a beacon of light guiding us toward greater understanding and blessings. Wherever Jupiter resides in your natal chart, it marks the area of your life where you are most blessed, where fortune flows, where your spirit seeks meaning, and where the divine touches your journey. Jupiter illuminates the path of travel, exploration, academic pursuits, and spirituality. It encourages us to step beyond the boundaries of the familiar, to believe in the vast possibilities that lie just beyond our sight. Jupiter governs the Sagittarius zodiac sign, and traditionally rules Pisces, guiding us to long for something greater, something beyond the physical realm, something transcendent. It invites us to look at life with broad-minded vision, seeking truth, expansion, and divine wisdom. Jupiter asks you, what is your greater purpose? How can you grow beyond your current circumstances? The energy of Jupiter is joyful, generous, and filled with limitless potential. Jupiter has a tendency to magnify whatever it touches, be it goodness or misfortune, karma or grace. The position of Jupiter in your chart, the aspects it makes with other planets, and its connections with the malefic planets can all amplify challenges. When Jupiter forms aspects with malefic planets, it does not just amplify fortune, it can also magnify errors, accidents, and even misfortunes. So, dear ones, as you listen to this video, be mindful of Jupiter's current position in your chart. Study the aspects it forms. What does it magnify for you? Is it the light of abundance or the shadow of overindulgence? It is important to understand how Jupiter's energies work within your unique astrological framework. Remember, Jupiter brings gifts, but it also demands that we use wisdom to handle them. Jupiter transits through each zodiac sign approximately once every 12 years, spending about 12 to 13 months in each sign. It forms part of a larger cycle of expansion and evolution for both individuals and the collective. During a transit, Jupiter amplifies the qualities of the sign it's passing through, bringing focus, opportunity, and sometimes challenges related to that sign's themes. Jupiter transits invite us to grow, to risk, and to expand our understanding of ourselves and the world. In a systemic sense, whether we're speaking about a personal life system, a societal structure, or a global community, Jupiter's movement indicates where optimism, belief systems, law, governance, and philosophical evolution are highlighted. It helps to open doors, introduce new philosophies, and break outdated paradigms that limit human growth. It functions like a cosmic teacher, guiding entire collectives into the next stage of their awareness. Jupiter's transit through Gemini, spanning from mid-2024 to mid-2025, brought an intense focus on communication, information sharing, learning, adaptability, and community connections. But remember, travelers, Jupiter in Gemini is not at its best. It is in fall in Gemini, which means it is not entirely comfortable here. Jupiter doesn't naturally thrive in this sign. The benefic qualities of Jupiter, its expansiveness, abundance, and joy are somewhat restricted. The expansive nature of Jupiter struggles in Gemini's restless and scattered energy. Thus, while the gifts of learning, communication, and flexibility are present, Jupiter's usual blessings may feel more elusive, and the energy may require more conscious effort to navigate. Jupiter in Gemini challenged us to be open-minded, to hold multiple truths at once, and to recognize the value of diverse perspectives. It encouraged us to look beyond our own narrow view and embrace the wide-ranging landscape of ideas that define our world. However, as with all celestial journeys, there is a shadow side. This transit revealed the challenges of the information age: misinformation, overwhelm through media saturation, and the difficulty of discerning what is truly meaningful amid so much noise. The lesson here was to navigate the flood of information with discernment and wisdom. The gift of this transit was the ability to adapt, to learn quickly, and to think more flexibly. It taught us that wisdom isn't found in rigid belief systems, but in our willingness to stay curious and keep asking deeper questions. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in the sign until June 30, 2026. This transit is considered especially powerful and beneficial, as Jupiter is in its exaltation in Cancer, meaning it operates in a particularly favorable and expansive way. However, during this period, Jupiter will also go through a retrograde phase. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. This retrograde might temporarily interrupt the influence of Jupiter in Cancer, so the full effects of the transit might not be felt until Jupiter resumes its direct motion. Therefore, while the transition to Cancer happens in June 2025, the retrograde phase will cause a brief pause, and the real impact of Jupiter in Cancer will be fully realized after the retrograde ends. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, meaning it works at its maximum strength here. Especially after the Jupiter transit through Gemini, we can say this will be a year of profound healing. However, let's also be mindful that Cancer, with its shadow aspects, can be a challenging sign, and Jupiter will magnify these traits. For those with the Sun, Moon, or benefic planets in water signs, it could be an incredibly fortunate and prosperous year. particularly in areas related to family and abundance. Now, as Jupiter moves into Cancer, a water sign ruled by the moon, the energy shifts profoundly. Cancer is about home, family, emotional security, ancestry, and belonging. It is nurturing, protective, and deeply intuitive. As Jupiter enters Cancer, we can expect a massive expansion of emotional awareness, a deepening of our need for safe spaces, and a renaissance of nurturing relationships. The themes of home, family, caregiving, and emotional well-being will come to the forefront, both personally and on a global scale. Issues related to housing, homeland, migration, food, and caregiving will likely dominate discussions, and the energy of Jupiter will call for a deeper look at how we create emotional safety both within ourselves and in our communities. This is a time to nourish the soul and reconnect with our roots. Personally, this transit invites us to heal our inner child, to reconnect with the foundation of who we are, and to invest in what makes us feel truly at home, whether that's through starting families, building homes, or simply fostering communities where we can thrive emotionally. There is a call to create a space of emotional sanctuary, whether in our personal lives or within the greater collective. Since Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, meaning it operates at its maximum strength here, this period can offer profound blessings and growth. It's a year that will likely bring healing, especially following the more scattered energy of Jupiter in Gemini. However, travelers, Cancer is not without its shadows. It is a sign with deep emotional currents, and in its darker aspects it can bring up challenges related to attachment, insecurity, and emotional overwhelm. And with Jupiter magnifying these energies, we must be cautious not to let the emotional waters overwhelm us. For those with the Sun, Moon, or benefic planets in the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, this could be a particularly lucky and prosperous year, especially in matters of family, abundance, and emotional fulfillment. The blessings of Jupiter are amplified, and opportunities for growth in these areas can manifest. However, while there is great potential for expansion, remember, this is a time to grow through nurturing, to expand by caring, and to find security by trusting the natural rhythms of life and the universe. Jupiter in Cancer asks us to balance expansion with emotional grounding, for true abundance comes from a place of emotional wisdom and inner peace. As Jupiter enters Cancer, it's time to see how this transit will affect each zodiac sign and rising sign. Let's explore how this nurturing energy will bring growth and expansion to you personally. Dear Aries and Aries rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your third house, which rules communication, learning, and your immediate environment. Over the past few years, you may have felt a lot of mental stimulation and changes in your way of thinking and connecting with others. This transit likely brought an abundance of opportunities for growth in these areas, but it also may have felt overwhelming at times. Whether it was due to an influx of new information, traveling, or dealing with changes in your immediate surroundings, the energy of Jupiter in the third house might have left you feeling mentally drained or in need of a break. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your fourth house, the house of home, family, emotional foundation, property, and roots. This is a much more inward-focused energy, one that invites you to build a strong sense of emotional security and stability. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago, between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The fourth house governs your home life and living situation, family dynamics and ancestral roots, emotional security, and the foundations of your inner world. real estate and property matters, the nurturing and caregiving role you play, both for yourself and for others. With Jupiter in your fourth house, you can expect a period of growth in these areas. Jupiter here can bring blessings of abundance and comfort in your personal life, helping you create a more peaceful, secure, and expansive home environment. This could manifest as moving into a new home, renovating your living space, or simply finding more emotional satisfaction within your family or close relationships. Your family may expand. Jupiter in the fourth also brings the opportunity for deep emotional healing, particularly related to your childhood or past family experiences. While this transit brings expansion, it's also about nurturing your roots and focusing on what makes you feel truly at home in the world. It's a time for you to invest in your emotional well-being, strengthening your connection to your family and personal history, and creating a solid foundation that will support you for years to come. The influence may vary depending on whether the planets in your fourth house are benefic or malefic, but the core themes will remain along these lines. Dear Taurus and Taurus rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your second house of finances, personal values, and self-worth. Over the past few years, you may have focused heavily on your material resources, personal income, and the way you value yourself and your possessions. While Jupiter's expansive energy brings opportunities for financial growth, it can also be overwhelming. You may have experienced fluctuating income, increased spending, or a shift in your values that made you feel somewhat unstable or burdened by material concerns. This period likely challenged you to reevaluate your relationship with money, your sense of self-worth, and your personal resources. And you may have felt mentally or emotionally drained at times as you navigated these changes. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your third house of communication, learning, siblings, and your immediate environment. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago. Between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The third house governs communication, both verbal and written, learning, education, and curiosity, short trips and local travel, siblings and close relatives, social interactions and community networks, trading, vehicles. With Jupiter in your third house, you can expect a period of growth in your intellectual pursuits and communication skills. Jupiter here encourages you to expand your knowledge, engage in new learning experiences, and explore different perspectives. This could lead to opportunities for travel, particularly short trips or local explorations, where you may encounter new ideas or experiences that broaden your understanding of the world. You might find yourself connecting more deeply with your siblings, neighbors, or community, and these relationships could become a source of support or growth. You may move. Your siblings may have child or get married. This transit also highlights the importance of how you communicate and connect with others, whether through writing, speaking, or social media. Jupiter in the third house helps you find your voice and express yourself more confidently. You may also experience a surge in curiosity, leading you to take up new hobbies, interests, or courses of study that expand your mental horizons. The influence may vary depending on whether the planets in your third house are benefic or malefic, but the core themes will remain along these lines. Dear Gemini and Gemini rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your first house of self, identity, and personal expression. Over the past few years, this transit likely brought you opportunities for personal growth and expansion, but it may have also been a period of intense self-reflection. This could have led to noticeable changes in your appearance, your self-perception, or how others perceive you. While Jupiter's influence generally brings growth, It also amplifies whatever it touches. Or might have experienced moments of self-doubt, or perhaps you overextended yourself in an attempt to assert your independence. This period likely tested your boundaries, and you may have felt overwhelmed as you tried to align your inner self with your outward persona. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your second house of finances, personal values, and material possessions. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago. Between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The second house governs your personal finances and income, your values and sense of self-worth, your material possessions and resources, your approach to security and comfort, your diet. It is also related to career and job opportunities. With Jupiter now in your second house, this is a time for growth in your financial and material life. Jupiter's expansive energy will bring opportunities for financial gain, whether through increased income, investments, or better management of your resources. You may also find yourself reassessing your values and your sense of worth, focusing more on what truly matters to you and how you can secure your personal comfort and security. This is a good time to work on building a solid foundation for your future. You might feel a renewed sense of confidence in your ability to create wealth, acquire the things you need, and create a life of comfort. Jupiter's influence encourages abundance, so keep an eye out for new opportunities that could enhance your material world, whether through new career paths, investments, or ways of managing your money. The influence may vary depending on whether the planets in your fourth house are benefic or malefic, but the core themes will remain along these lines. Dear Cancer and Cancer rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your 12th house of spirituality, secrets, subconscious, and endings. This has likely been a period of deep inner work, reflection, and growth behind the scenes. You may have been faced with past traumas, subconscious patterns, or hidden fears that needed to be confronted and healed. You may have experienced moments of solitude or a desire to withdraw from the external world in order to connect more deeply with your inner self. This period likely prompted you to re-evaluate your spiritual beliefs and question what truly brings you a sense of peace and fulfillment. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your first house of self, identity, and personal expression. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago. Between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The first house governs your self-identity and personal expression, your physical appearance and first impressions, how you present yourself to the world, your approach to new beginnings and personal development. With Jupiter entering your first house, you are entering a period of personal growth, confidence, and expansion. Jupiter in your first house encourages you to embrace new beginnings and take bold steps towards developing your true self. You may experience positive changes in your appearance, the way you carry yourself, and how others perceive you. Jupiter's energy will inspire you to embrace opportunities about your life, career, own image, self-improvement, and personal development, whether it's through physical transformation, new ventures, or simply expanding your sense of self. Do not miss the opportunities. If the planets in your chart placement support, you may get married. Jupiter in your first house may lead you gain weight, or you may get pregnant. It expands the body as well. This transit is all about embracing your individuality and feeling empowered to step into your full potential. Jupiter in the first house is a powerful time for you to become more self-assured, assertive, and confident in your path forward. The influence may vary depending on whether the planets in your 1st house are benefic or malefic, but the core themes will remain along these lines. Dear Leo and Leo rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your 11th house of friendships, social networks, and long-term goals. Over the past few years, the transit likely brought opportunities for you to expand your social circles, build new friendships, and work toward your aspirations for the future. However, it may have also been a time of overextending yourself socially, trying to please many people, or dealing with unrealistic expectations from your social circles. You may have felt both inspired and overwhelmed by the connections you made, and the ideals you set for yourself. This period likely encouraged you to expand your network and become more involved in group activities or causes that resonate with your vision of the future. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your 12th house of spirituality, solitude, and hidden matters. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The 12th house governs spirituality, dreams, and subconscious mind, solitude, introspection, and self-reflection, hidden or unconscious patterns and past lives, endings, healing, and closure. With Jupiter now in your 12th house, you can expect a period of spiritual growth, healing, and deep introspection. Jupiter in the 12th house brings opportunities for inner exploration and transformation. This transit encourages you to seek solitude and retreat in order to connect with your higher self and your spiritual path. You may feel a strong pull to let go of old patterns, heal emotional wounds, and release anything that no longer serves you. This is a time for personal reflection, where you may uncover hidden talents, emotions, or desires that have been buried beneath the surface. 12th house is uncontrollable, but Jupiter is benefic. If Jupiter, which is a protector, comes to your 12th house, this means you may experience something that you need to be protected. Do not worry. Jupiter's influence in the 12th house can also bring moments of increased intuition and spiritual connection. This is a time for deep healing and personal growth, especially in areas where you may have been avoiding or repressing emotions. You may ruminate a lot, drained by thought, but use this to turn and heal. You may also find comfort in solitude, as you focus on your inner world and seek peace within yourself. Dear Virgo and Virgo rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your 10th house of career, public image, and long-term goals. This period likely marked a time of significant professional expansion and public recognition. Over the past few years, you may have focused intensely on your ambitions, striving for success in your career or public life. You may have found the demands of your career weighing on you, or perhaps you were faced with difficult decisions about your long-term career path. During this time, you may have expanded your influence, whether by gaining new professional opportunities or becoming more recognized in your field. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025. And will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your 11th house of friendships, social networks, and long-term aspirations. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago, between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The 11th house governs friendships and social connections, group affiliations, community involvement, and organizations, hopes, dreams, and aspirations for the future. long-term goals, and your ideal future. Expect a period of growth in your social life and a chance to dream big about your future. This is a time to surround yourself with people who inspire and support you in reaching your long-term goals. Jupiter's expansive influence will likely bring new opportunities for collaboration and partnerships that align with your ideals and aspirations. You may feel a sense of belonging within groups or networks that help you work toward your dreams. This is also a time to focus on larger goals that may have been on the back burner, as Jupiter's energy encourages you to take your aspirations seriously and work toward them with renewed enthusiasm. You may be popular in your career, sector, or workplace. You may get new job opportunities. You may participate in non-profit organizations. Politics. Your belief in the power of collective effort or community will be strong, and you may find fulfillment in helping others or working together for a shared vision. New friendships or partnerships could play a pivotal role in helping you achieve your goals. Dear Libra and Libra rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your 9th house of higher education, philosophy, long-distance travel, and spiritual expansion. Over the past few years, this transit likely expanded your horizons in ways you hadn't anticipated. While Jupiter is in the 9th house, you may have experienced a growing appetite for adding a broader perspective and understanding to your life, encountering different cultures, or gaining new knowledge. During this period, there may have been a high possibility of new educational opportunities or planning for long-term travel. Additionally, it was a time for questioning your life philosophy, expanding your beliefs, or experiencing significant events that changed your worldview. This period may have brought a sense of liberation and discovery. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your 10th house of career, public image, and life goals. His 10th house governs career, professional life, and reputation, public image and recognition, life direction, and long-term ambitions, authority and leadership roles. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago, between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? With Jupiter now entering your 10th house, you can expect a time of growth and recognition in your professional life. Jupiter's influence here will expand opportunities for career advancement, increased visibility, and potentially even a rise in social or professional status. This is a time where your hard work may pay off, and you could receive recognition for your achievements. Whether you're aiming for a promotion, planning a new career direction, or striving to be seen more clearly in the public eye, this transit will likely bring blessings in your professional pursuits. You may get married, pregnant, adopt a child, or even have grandchild. You may study or receive a new education related to your job. You may get international job opportunities or business trips. Jupiter in the 10th house also brings opportunities for growth in leadership roles and authority. You may be given more responsibilities or be asked to step into roles where you can have a greater impact on the world around you. This period encourages you to dream big about your career and work toward tangible success. Additionally, Jupiter's energy in the 10th house will help you align your career goals with your higher ideals, bringing a sense of purpose and fulfillment in what you do. You may feel more confident and optimistic about the direction your professional life is heading, making it a good time to take bold steps toward your long-term ambitions. Dear Scorpio and Scorpio rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your 8th house of transformation, shared resources, intimacy, and the mysteries of life. Over the past few years, this transit likely brought significant changes to your emotional and financial life. During this period, financial collaborations, inheritance, taxes, insurance, or joint earnings may have come into focus. Additionally, you may have experienced a deep emotional transformation, feeling a strong desire to free yourself from old emotional patterns. This could have been a time to review the mysterious and challenging life experiences you have gone through, as well as the emotional areas you may have previously suppressed or hidden. This process may have supported your spiritual growth by opening doors to important changes or endings in your life. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your ninth house of higher education, philosophy, long-distance travel, and spiritual growth. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago, between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? With Jupiter now entering your ninth house, expect a time of growth and expansion in the areas of learning, philosophy, and personal belief systems. This is a time for you to explore new ideas, seek knowledge from distant places, or broaden your understanding of life and spirituality. Jupiter's influence here encourages you to stretch your intellectual and spiritual boundaries, whether through formal education, travel, or personal exploration. This transit may bring opportunities to study or deepen your understanding of philosophical, spiritual, or religious subjects. You might also feel a strong desire to travel or connect with people from different cultures, which can bring exciting, eye-opening experiences that change your perspective on life. Since the transit supports your ascendant during a year of transit, it will affect your mind, body, and spirit positively if you do not have malefic effect in your chart. You may pursue academic career. Jupiter may support in legal and court matters. Ninth house is also related to your spouse's family. You may focus on social media and marketing. Jupiter's energy in the ninth house can also inspire you to dream big about your future. Dear Sagittarius and Sagittarius rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your seventh house of partnerships, relationships, and one-on-one connections. Over the past few years, this transit likely brought significant changes and growth in your personal relationships, whether romantic, business, or close friendships. During this period, it was a time to create new and significant connections, as well as new opportunities in important relationships. This process could have brought a major turning point in your life, such as a partnership or marriage decision, or it could have offered more opportunities for expansion and healing in existing relationships. Perhaps you attracted people in your personal or professional life with whom you could take significant steps forward. During this period, you may have reviewed your bonds with your partners and found opportunities for greater balance and harmony in your relationships. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago, between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? Now, Jupiter is moving into your eighth house of transformation, shared resources, intimacy, and the deeper aspects of life. The eighth house governs intimacy and deep emotional connections, shared resources, inheritance, and financial matters, transformation, death and rebirth, secrets, psychology, and the hidden aspects of life. With Jupiter now entering your eighth house, expect a time of deep emotional and spiritual transformation. This period will likely bring significant changes in how you approach intimacy, shared resources, and emotional depth. You may experience personal growth through dealing with matters such as finances that are shared with others, such as loans, taxes, or inheritance, or you could undergo a powerful transformation. Jupiter's influence here can bring about a deeper understanding of yourself, as well as others. You may also attract opportunities for financial growth or transformation, especially through partnerships or joint ventures. Your family may make investment that may be profitable. Inheritance matter may be active. Be cautious of taking out loans or dealing with debt. It may escalate. This is a time when the hidden aspects of life, whether psychological, spiritual, or financial, come to the surface for exploration. You may feel a stronger desire to dig deeper into the mysteries of life, uncovering truths about yourself or others that can lead to profound healing or growth. Your intimate life may be appealing in this period. It's a time for embracing change and the potential for new beginnings, especially in areas where you share resources or intimate connections with others. Dear Capricorn and Capricorn rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your 6th house of daily routines, work responsibilities, and health. You may have taken on new tasks or roles at work. Some of you might have experienced a busy or changing work environment. There could have been a focus on physical health or mental wellness, perhaps starting new habits, treatments, or seeking diagnoses. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025, and will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is moving into your 7th house of relationships and partnerships. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The 7th house governs new partnerships, either romantic or business, may emerge. Existing relationships could deepen or move toward long-term commitments like engagement or marriage. You may attract people who help you grow, mentors, clients, collaborators. During Jupiter transits in Cancer, where is your 7th house? You may experience meeting a significant person who plays an important role in your life, making commitments in love or business, reassessing the give and take, dynamic in relationships. Finding growth through cooperation and empathy. Progress in legal matters or contracts for some. Watch out for over-idealizing others, losing yourself in relationships, emotional overextension or imbalance. During this period, it is a time to create new and significant connections, as well as new opportunities in important relationships. This process may bring a major turning point in your life, such as a partnership or marriage decision, or it could have offered more opportunities for expansion and healing in existing relationships. If you are married, there may be news about your partner. If you have malefic placements in your 7th house, some crisis may occur. Also, 7th house is related to consultancy. Maybe you hire a lawyer, servant, or psychologist. New collaborations may arise. Perhaps you attract people in your personal or professional life with whom you could take significant steps forward. Dear Aquarius and Aquarius rising, Jupiter has recently transited your 5th house, which governs creativity, romance, self-expression, and joy. Over the past year, you may have experienced a surge in inspiration, pleasure, or romantic interest. This transit encouraged you to embrace your passions, express yourself more freely, and engage with life through playfulness, love, and creative pursuits. For some, this may have meant exploring artistic talents, diving into hobbies, or experiencing a renewed sense of joy through children or romantic connections. It may have also opened doors to romantic adventures or joyful experiences that reminded you of what makes you feel alive. However, too much indulgence or idealism in romance or leisure may have also brought some lessons along the way. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025. And will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Now, Jupiter is entering your sixth house of daily work, routines, service, health, and discipline. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? The sixth house governs work and employment, physical and mental health, daily routines and habits, service, productivity, and discipline. With Jupiter now entering this area of your chart, you're likely to experience growth and expansion in your day-to-day responsibilities. New job opportunities, improved working conditions, or a renewed focus on health and well-being may emerge. This is a favorable time to build healthier habits, organize your life, or find meaning in your daily efforts. You might also feel more drawn to helping others. Jupiter here often expands the urge to be of service or to find purpose in your work. Just be mindful of taking on too much or overextending yourself. What you might experience improvement or changes in your work life. A push to create more structure and discipline. Focus on physical and mental wellness. Greater interest in nutrition, routines, or healing practices. Finding joy through service, mindfulness, and meaningful effort. If you have employees, there might be crazy about them, or you may expand your work and employees. You may adopt a pet in this transit. This is a time to align your outer responsibilities with your inner growth. Jupiter in Cancer transit during your sixth house will guide you toward creating a life that feels both purposeful and manageable, where daily life becomes a source of meaning and progress. Dear Pisces and Pisces rising, Jupiter has recently transited through your fourth house of home, family, roots, and emotional foundation. Over the past few years, this transit likely brought significant growth and expansion in areas related to your personal life, home environment, and your connection to your family or heritage. During this period, you may have experienced changes such as moving or expanding your home, or deepening your emotional connections with family. The fourth house governs your sense of inner security. And with Jupiter's expansive energy, you may have sought more emotional stability or worked on healing past emotional wounds. Jupiter will enter Cancer on June 9, 2025, and will remain in this sign until June 30, 2026. It will begin its retrograde motion on November 11, 2025. And will move back into Gemini on December 4, 2025. Jupiter was last in Cancer 12 years ago, between June 2013 and July 2014. What were you going through back then? Now, Jupiter is moving into your fifth house of creativity, self-expression, romance, and children. The fifth house governs romance, love affairs, and creativity. Self-expression, hobbies, and leisure activities, children, fun and joy, artistic expression and passion. With Jupiter now entering your fifth house, expect a period of growth, joy, and creative expansion. This is a time when you may feel more inspired to express yourself creatively, whether through art, hobbies, or other forms of self-expression. Jupiter's influence here will bring opportunities for you to enjoy life more fully, whether through romance, artistic endeavors, getting pregnant, adoption, or spending time with children. You may experience a surge in your romantic life, with new opportunities for fun, adventure, and deeper connections. If you've been seeking more excitement or fulfillment in your love life, Jupiter's presence here can bring optimism and growth in that area. This is also a time when your creative abilities may be highlighted, leading to new and exciting projects or ventures that bring you joy and personal satisfaction. Jupiter encourages you to have fun, embrace your passions, and explore new creative possibilities. This is a time to let go of any inhibitions and allow yourself to fully enjoy life's pleasures and experiences. Thank you for joining me on this cosmic journey today. I hope the stars have illuminated your path and the wisdom of the universe has touched your heart. If the astrological insight resonated with you, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. so we can continue walking this mystical journey together. Every like, every comment is a vibration we send out into the universe, and it returns to us in the form of growth, understanding, and alignment. Remember, the cosmos is always speaking to you, guiding you, nudging you in the right direction. So stay tuned, stay aligned, and trust in the unfolding of your journey. Until next time, may the stars guide your every step, and may the universe grant you peace, love, and light.